So as we're getting into the colder weather months here in the northern hemisphere, that means we've got some colder running weather. So I thought I'd go through some of my tricks for running in the cold, and today focusing on headgear and hands. So some considerations with this. It's personal. Some people, when they get running, their hands get warmer. Mine get cold. If it's under 50 degrees and I don't have anything on my hands will start getting cold. If it gets down into the 40s, I start getting numb in my wrist area into my hands. So I've got to wear gloves. And then headgear also, as it gets into the 40s, I start putting on a little something. I'd like to avoid sweating as much as possible when it's cold, because if you have to stop, then you get cold really quick. So I like to start my running cold, and then knowing that I'm going to warm up, assuming that I'm going to run most of the time or have the same level of output. So that's another thing with my running. I like to start a little cold, knowing that I'm going to warm up. My hands, though, got to take care of those. And so what I'll start out with, just some cheapy Amazon gloves, 12 bucks when it gets under 50 degrees. So upper 40s down to the low to 40 range, I'll wear those gloves. Around 40, I'll switch over to, these are some smart wool, merino wool mittens. These do a good job down into the mid to lower 30s. And once I hit that range, I got some options. One, I might go to these bougie Arc'teryx. These are Gore-Tex windproof. And I can layer with these, or I can use them alone. They've got a little bit of a insulated lining. So those are good, but if I have to start layering, then I'll do the glove liners underneath those mitts. And then if it gets really cold, I start to use some wrist and hand warmers. So this is a pair of wrist warmers. I just cut the top off of some wool socks, and on one side I've cut a hole in it so that my watch can poke through there, so I can see what's going on there. So I can wear a glove under this, a mitten, whatever I need to. If it is really cold and like down into the 20s, into the teens, I pull out these. Another pair of socks, I've cut the toe a little short on them and sewn that up. I've also added a thumb hole on the inside and a watch hole on the back side. So I've got mittens on, or the glove liners depending on the temperature. Got my watch coming through. I've got a glove or a hole for my thumb if I need to grab something. If not, I can tuck it in. So that's my glove game. For headgear, I use a lot of neck warmers, or my favorite hack is the sleeve of a shirt. So this is just from a technical shirt. I cut it at the seam. And this is a perfect weight down into the 30s for me. It is lightweight. It cuts the wind, but it doesn't hold a lot of heat in. It'll be enough. And when you cut it at the seam, it just pops on, covers the ears, covers the forehead, lets heat out the top so you don't build up a bunch of sweat. And so these, I've got a number of these that I've made. Can also use like a buff sort of thing. So this is a shorter one that I got from a race. Again, that'll just kind of pop on whatever height you want, but it lets heat escape the top, which is a key thing for me when it's really cold. So that's the breakdown. Glove liners, wool mittens, getting into windproof or over gloves, and assorted things like that. So here's the mid to upper 40s, getting into the low 40s, upper 30s, low 30s, upper 20s, and upper 20s into the teens. Stay warm out there.